Hey guys, I am John Carrick, author of Legacy of a Mad Scientist and The Legend of Ashley Fox. And today we're going to do something a little bit different. Today we're going to look at Conan the King, but I'm just going to flip through it. I'm not going to talk a whole lot. I'm just going to show off the art. I'll point out some stuff, but it's mostly going to be quiet. So here we go. This is the wizard Crassus with Prince Khan in his clutches here on the cover. Conan and his soldiers are chasing a king, Xanthus, and his consort, Lenora, who are fleeing a city in Argos that Conan has just conquered. They had invaded Aquilonia, and Conan is chasing his revenge. Prince Khan has confronted the wizard Crassus in an underground grotto, but that's coming up. Right here, Conan is commanding his soldiers. These ones in the foreground are purple, unfortunately, for them. This is Derek. He plays a part in this again. He's Radigan's husband. Radigan is Conan's daughter. It's so good. The soldiers were complaining about the fact that they would be fighting uphill and in the sun, but it'll be all right. Here's Xanthus and Lenora. They are fleeing, and Lenora is about to just sort of discard her king. Then we get Khan facing the dragon, who has turned himself into a dragon with the serpent venom. Khan versus Crassus. This is a little bit of a recap because at the end of the last issue, Khan was already airborne in Crassus's claws. But we get a couple more pages of recap. Doesn't need words. I mean, it has dialogue to read, but just look at it. Khan has been kidnapped by the dragon, and Rufio has to run back and explain this to Conan. This is Derek. He is Conan's daughter's husband, Conan's son-in-law. And Khan is doing serious damage to Crassus the dragon. This is Derek and Rufio. They have to explain what's happened to Conan. Conan sees the dragon, but he can't give up the chase. He has to chase down King Xanthus first. Again, Khan is really getting the sword up in his guts. But the dragon could just bite his head off or squeeze him to death, so... I want to leave that up a little bit longer. It's so good. This is just the sort of thing you can put on in the background, like fire in a fireplace. Conan comic, killing dragons. This is Calistros and Braxalthar on the river below, the Cohorta River, and they are watching this take place. And the dragon falls into the water just ahead of their boat. Of course, Calistros and Braxalthor rescue Prince Khan. He's unconscious. But he's not the only one to surface in the water. Crassus floats to the surface as well, only he's dead. And then we cut back to the battle with Conan, who can't find Khan. And now we're going through the same thing we went through for 20 issues while he was looking for Prince Taurus. Some plot devices will not stay put. They insist on being used. Here, Lenora and Crassus finally have their falling out. She blasts him with a riding crop and blows past him and abandons him. He still has a chariot. Conan's on his way. He's coming up the mountain. This is a mountain trail that they're on. And this is Prince Xanthus's bowman, or last surviving soldier, Prince King Xanthus. What was the bad guy's name from, what was that show? God, I'm spacing on the show. Marshall Bravestar. Xanthus looks like the bad guy, Tex Hex from Marshall Bravestar with that weird mustache. Conan's charioteer gets an arrow in the throat. Rufio follows him because he knows Conan can't drive the chariot and throw a spear. There's Derek as well. He's the leader of the Aesir, the king of the Aesir. And they are chasing after Xanthus up this mountain road where they could go over the cliff, or the chariot could bust an axle, or the horses could... Any million of things could go wrong. But Conan's pushing it to the max. Rufio leaps off his horse to land in the chariot, to drive the chariot while Conan attacks his enemy. Because he can't do both. You know, the Irish and the English used chariots before the Romans. They had a whole fighting style with chariots that the Romans didn't use. The Romans adopted from England and Ireland. Well, England. They didn't get to Ireland. But that's true. Conan and Rufio are dodging arrows. Conan gets ready to throw his spear. And it catches the archer. And now the archer is lying in the path, and he presents an obstacle to the horses. He could rip their stomachs open with that spear shaft. but they get past him. Conan leaps into Xanthus' chariot where they have a good old-fashioned hand-to-hand fight. Of course, they're getting much closer to the end of the mountain track. Conan snaps Xanthus', cracks his neck, chokes him, crushes his windpipe, and then leaps out of the chariot before it goes over the edge and falls. We will get AI cartoons of every Conan comic book. That is going to be awesome. That will happen. I promise you that will happen. It's just going to be too easy, and there's too many people out there who love this. I don't even have to do the work. All I have to do is wish for it, and it will come to me. Meanwhile, I'm going to be drawing my own stuff. And writing. So there's Xanthus. He is now food for the vultures. And Lenora is now, so we get a hard cut from his death to her boarding Callistro and Brax-Althor's ship. She's not nearby. She's already found them, and they have Prince Khan. So they show her Crassus, the dead wizard. Crassus is the name of a famous Roman. And they show her Prince Khan, and she immediately gets hot for Prince Khan. She's talking about how he's supposed to be just as tough as his dad. And this is hilarious. So now we get another hard cut halfway through the page to Conan, who is questioning his soldiers about where his son is, and they don't know. But the wizard brings out the heart of Ahriman, the crystal ball, and he shows them that Khan still lives and that he's been found by Brax-Althor and Callistros, the wizard, and he's on a ship. And so they know have put that to rest. Now we get another hard cut right there. Right after that, we get a hard cut back to the ship, and that is Leona's butt. Because Brax-Althor says, "Whoa, what are you all dressed up for?" She says, "Not for you." She has a special perfume on, and she has a special potion to add to wine, and she's about to go seduce Prince Khan. He's not even awake. Scheming, dirty. And that's it. Getting the ad for Kraven the Hunter with Spider-Man. Meatloaf. His name was Robert Paulson. All right, let's do the next bit. Hey guys, so we were just looking at Conan the King 43. And I think I like this style of just not talking over the comic a little bit more. I mean, how much explanation does this really need? Just point out who's the bad guy and why, you know? Comics are great. I love this medium. I'm out here celebrating it. Today is brought to you by Legacy of a Mad Scientist and The Legend of Ashley Fox. Ashley Fox is my character, sort of a combination, kind of like what would Conan's daughter be like in the future if Conan was a scientist. Everything plays into each other. We have a comic book in the description for you guys. Ashley Fox, Ninja Babysitter, The Last Valkyrie. This is issue 6 in a 6-issue limited series where 1 through 5 were never drawn. This is Valeria and Ashley rescuing an innocent baby. Sarah, I think is her name in this one, from being murdered by Satanists. Evil guys. And we also have a conflicted card for you guys today. This is the Queen of Diamonds This is the third conflicted deck. We're starting opposite. So they're stacked because the diamonds was the last ones. And so we're starting face down this time. This one says, imagine you've lost everyone. You're the last member of your family. Who would you leave your possessions to and why if you were dying in the end of the world? That's a weird question to ask. It's not something you really would talk about with strangers, but I suppose I'd leave the weapons to the men and the fiction to the kids and the food to everybody, you know? Yeah, I don't know. Anyhow, that's pretty much it for today. I don't have a whole lot to say, and I guess I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.